I was very fortunate to have been born when I did, because I saw the end of what traditionally Maine hunting and fishing was. I could literally start hunting out the back door of my house in South Brewer. Where Parkway South is now, that was all fields and woods, right to my back door. I always, as a kid, I was, as far back as I can remember, drawing pictures of fish and deer and birds. And then I went to work as an apprentice in the news, in the printing field. And after a while, I was hired as the illustrator. And one day, I started doing some writing. And Rick Warren, who's the publisher of the news, he came in my office one day and saw something I was doing. He said, "Is this for the paper?" And I said, "No, it's for a magazine." And he said, "Well, would you consider doing something like that for the paper?" And I said, "Sure." So that's how that started. Anyway, in both fields, I'm self-taught. It's the outdoors, particularly nature, wildlife, and hunting and fishing that came with it. That was the only things I was really interested in. There were several adamant anti-hunting groups here. There was one down in Camden, Rockport area, and that's when I took over as the outdoor writer, and we were going head to head, hammer and tongs. And some of the columns I wrote back then were scathing, I'll tell you. But, they were coming in here with the attitude that they were going to stop hunting. Sportsmen were always the first stewards of the environment. They saw things happening way before things happened, any kind of conservation measures. Like the Connecticut River had one of the biggest salmon runs in North America. And that run was obliterated by the late 1700s because they built dams with no thought of any kind of fish passage facilities. It's a constant battle, it seems, to protect the very important and symbolic Maine resources, That's the thing about this state. This state's sitting up here in the northeast corner of this country like the last jewel in the showcase of what used to be New England. And it seems like people are just determined to trash it. I was very lucky in the neighborhood I grew up in. There were guys who would take me hunting and fishing, and because my father didn't do much, but my uncle did. I had one uncle that was avid hunter and fisherman. And be walking down South Main Street there in Brewer, and a little gas station where people used to kind of hang out. Booch Jameson, he was one of my mentors. He'd haul across the road, "Tommy, you want to go fishing this evening?" Jesus, that was, be down here at 4 o'clock, or I'd be there at 3 o'clock, and that's the way it was. I saw that salmon fishing in the pool when I was a kid. I saw these 15-pound salmon being caught, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, That was my life's ambition, to get up there and to catch a salmon. And then, it went flat. There is no one anywhere who would like to see a wild, self-sustaining run of Atlantic salmon in this river than I would. I know it's worth protecting. I know it's worth fighting for. And this river is worth fighting for.